If you're thinking about buying a waterfront home here in Southwest Florida, one of the biggest decisions you'll face has nothing to do with the house itself. It's whether the property is in an HOA or not. And that one decision can affect whether you can park your boat trailer at your house or whether you can rent the property, how much freedom you have, and how much money you'll pay every month. Or it even controls what you can do with your dock. So in this video, I'm going to break down the real differences between an HOA and a non-HOA waterfront home here in Southwest Florida. And I'll tell you which one I personally recommend depending on your boating lifestyle. If we haven't met, my name's Chris Glazer. I'm a boat captain as well as a full-time real estate agent down here in Southwest Florida. I've lived down here for over 19 years. So if this is your first time on our channel and you'd like to see more videos of what's going on down here in Southwest Florida, please click that subscribe button. We try to get new videos out at least once a week. All of my contact information is in the description below. So whether you're looking to make your move in 9 days or 90 days, please feel free to reach out. I'd be honored to help. We'll make your move smooth sailing. First question is, what is an HOA? HOA is a homeowners association. And what they do is it's basically an organization that manages the neighborhood as well as the community and creates rules for the homeowners that the homeowners must follow. If you buy a house in an HOA community or a condo, you basically agree to follow those rules and pay monthly, quarterly, or annual fees. On waterfront properties, HOA communities are typically found in gated communities, waterfront condo communities. There's some newer canal home developments. We're starting to see a few of those pop up in Southwest Florida, as well as marina communities and planned boating communities. In Southwest Florida, the HOAs are going to vary quite a bit. I've seen some HOAs as low as $50 a month and others well over $1,000 a month. And again, that's all going to be determined by the type of amenities. Some of these smaller HOA communities aren't luxury driven. You'll see some of the higher end communities like Tarpon Point and Cape Harbor over in Cape Coral. Those are more luxury driven communities. So let's start with the advantages of being in an HOA. The big one is when you start looking at how well they're taken care of, they're usually very well maintained neighborhoods. They typically look cleaner and they're definitely more uniformed. As far as what you won't see, you definitely don't see homes that are neglected, as well as, especially when it comes to waterfront properties, usually you're not going to see broken down docks and, overgrown lots or abandoned boats. The HOA is going to make sure that they keep the place cleaned up and looking good, because that's one of the reasons why people choose to live in a HOA community. Advantage number two to being in an HOA is the amenities. If you're looking for entertainment, you're interested in having some nice restaurants and shops within the community. Some of them will be golf communities as well as marinas. We've got several of those down here as well in Southwest Florida. Amenities such as having a boat slip or a boat lift is huge. A boat ramp, or even, even dry storage for your vessel. Cape Harbor has a very nice dry storage facility right there within the community. So you don't even have to keep your boat in the water if you don't want to. You'll also find these luxury communities have clubhouses, very nice clubhouses for entertainment, pools, fitness centers, just all the things that you would want if you are looking for that resort style living. We've got a ton of that down here in Southwest Florida. One of the other big things that people like about the HOA is they don't have to worry about mowing the grass. I know some of you like doing that up north. because that's just a part of your routine. But down here, it's hot and it can get pretty hot and sweaty. And so, long story short, lawn care is taken care of with most of the HOAs down here. They'll maintain things like the seawall for you, as well as common areas. Just make sure the place looks good. The fourth big advantage for a lot of folks is if you're an out-of-state owner, you don't have to worry about maintaining the place while you're gone. There'll be somebody there to make sure that all those things are done. There's also different home watch type companies that can also help with maintaining the property while you're gone. Now, this is where things get really important. If you're a boater, there can be restrictions on your boat. Some HOAs are going to restrict the size of vessel that you have. It could also restrict whether or not you can have a lift in the community or do any sort of dock modifications. You may be required to have just a certain size dock for up to a certain size vessel. The other part you might run into is if you have a trailer for your boat, they may not have an area for you to keep the trailer. Now, I do know some communities, some HOA communities do have areas where you can keep a boat outside of out of the water within the community, but there's not very many of them. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Also, a lot of HOAs are not going to want to have a boat in the driveway, or they don't want anybody to be able to see it from the street. So you just have to be aware that there's going to be restrictions when it comes to your boat in an HOA community. Disadvantage number 2 is going to be rental restrictions. You're going to find that a lot of HOAs restrict the amount of rentals you can do. Most of these communities don't want people coming in and out on a weekly basis that don't live there or haven't had background checks. Those are some things that most of these HOA communities are going to require. So the restrictions are going to be placed on short-term rentals for the most part. If it's quarterly or yearly, you'll find that they will make exceptions for longer-term rentals. Not in all cases, though. There are some communities that just do not want any sort of rentals available. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Disadvantage number 3 is just your monthly fees. Those monthly fees add up with HOAs. Sometimes you're going to have not only a condo fee, but you might have what they call a master HOA fee, and it can just add up over time. And those are things that you could put towards the cost of maintenance on, say, your dock and other things if you were not in a HOA. So disadvantage number 3 is those fees do add up. Disadvantage number 4, freedom. You really don't have much freedom to do things to your house, or sometimes even when it comes to remodeling, they may require somebody to review the plans. You'll find that some of these condo communities have different color schemes, so you can't even color the house the way that you would like it. We had that in a community we lived in for a little while. At the end of the day, some folks want the structure and not have to worry about those sort of things, and then there's other buyers who want all the freedom that they can get when it comes to all the things that they want to do to their property. So let's talk about some of the advantages of not being in an HOA. One of the big things is you can put any kind of boat lift or dock that the city is going to allow you to permit. Obviously, you have to think about things like the width of the canal, but as far as the design goes, as long as it fits in with the parameters, you can design that dock however you would like. As far as parking a boat trailer at home, there are some in certain areas of Southwest Florida. you'll find that, for example, Cape Coral does have some code enforcement. So you do have to have the house, or excuse me, the trailer back, usually in the backyard, and it has to be fenced in. There's other areas that are just basically restricted as far as the county is concerned. I guess county restrictions. For example, Matlacha Isles is an area just outside of Cape Coral where they don't have really any restrictions. Same thing with down in St. James City. San Carlos Park has very limited restrictions. So if you have questions on areas that I can help you with those areas. So on to the next. If you are in a non-HOA community, means you're not going to have any HOA fees. So you'll be able to put that money back into your own pocket, maybe buy yourself a little bit more house if you don't have those HOAs to worry about. Gives you a little bit more control and flexibility. Number three, a lot of investors like like purchasing homes in communities without HOAs because usually they're going to want to either rent them short term or long term, and they're just easier to rent without having to deal with an HOA. Advantage number four is just truly having the ability to do whatever you really want as far as having that true waterfront lifestyle. Most buyers envision being able to walk right out their back door and jump on the boat, go fishing, and have no restrictions. It's one of the big reasons why non-HOA canals are so popular in not only Cape Coral, but some other non-HOA communities in Southwest Florida. So let's talk a little bit about the disadvantages. When you are in a neighborhood that has no restrictions or no HOAs, sometimes there's just less neighborhood control. So you may find that you have one house that's in fantastic fantastic shape and landscaped nicely, and then the one next door might not be. You might have a trailer in the yard or maybe an RV parked in the driveway, and not everybody's a big fan of that. So disadvantage number two is more personal responsibility. You have to take care of things like the landscaping, pool, the dock, the seawall, at least down in our area, the seawall, and all those things now are on your plate. Whereas with the HOA, they will most likely, not in all cases, but a lot of cases, take care of a lot of those things for you. My honest recommendation as a boat captain and your realtor down here in Southwest Florida is, if boating's a major part of your lifestyle, I usually recommend looking for a non-HOA canal home first, especially in Cape Coral. You'll have maximum flexibility, lower long-term cost, and full control over your dock and your lift and your entire boating setup. However, if you prefer, a highly maintained community with marina access and less personal responsibilities, an HOA community would be great. Just a lot less things for you to have to worry about. So it's almost like plug and play. Find the right community, bring your boat, and get the right amenities, and you're all set to go. So it all really depends on your priorities. If you're thinking about buying a waterfront home or condo down here in Southwest Florida, I'd be happy to help find you the right property based on your boat, your budget, and your lifestyle. All my contact information is in the description below, so please feel free to reach out. My name's Chris Glazer. I'm a boat captain as well as a full-time real estate agent down here. Whether you're looking to make that move in 9 days or 90 days, I would be honored to help. Hope you enjoyed the video today. This is Captain Chris. We are checking out.